So this is a game I'm putting up to remind me that I can have success with Kindred in the months to come. I've used pre-season to vacillate over which champion I want to main in the coming Season 12. I love playing jungles, so it's got to be a jungler. I love Rengar, but I played him all of last year and I struggled so much with him. Like I think I spent the entire time trying to climb out of Bronze 3 into Bronze 2, whereas with Swain I hit Silver 2 without even 100th of the effort. And it was just a bit of a miserable time, so I'm going to put him to one side until his rework and play something else. I've been flirting a lot with Nidalee over the past month. I've probably played 2/3 as many games on her as I did in Rengar the entire year. She's probably the only jungler I've played a substantial number of games with a positive win rate. I really enjoyed her, but the amount of effort involved is too much. Like the hours of drilling I spent practicing her combos, practicing her clear just to shave 7 seconds off it. And then I watch King Nidhogg and his actions per minute, and it's just crushing. She's working for me at the moment because I hit a lot of spears against really bad opponents and don't die. But it's just not sustainable. I will never come anywhere near close being able to play her like Nidhogg can, or any skilled Nidalee player. And I'm confident I would hit my skill cap with her much lower than I think the effort involved would be worth. So all that to say, I'm going to keep her on as a fun pick, but I'm looking now elsewhere, and I keep coming back to Kindred. Kindred was the champion that first lured me to League of Legends. It was the first champion I bought with my blue essence, and who I started learning the game with. I quickly found I sucked with marksman characters because how hard positioning is for them, and gravitated to more melee-based champions, but they've always been there. So basically I'm going to say stuff it, let's see how good we can get with Kindred this year. So this is me dusting off my Kindred. It's just a normals game, but almost everyone on the enemy team are multi-season gold players playing their role, if not their main champions, and everyone on my team are multi-season silver players or even bronze players. And I enjoyed this game and I felt that I had decent impact, so I want to review it to look back on it in the tough times to come. So here we are, starting at the red. I got a nice deep ward in the kha'zix is blue side. I told Nasus not to leash for me, and he was like, "Nah, bro, I got you," and stuck around and then wandered off without helping anyway. So the hilarity of that has thrown me off a bit, and I'm spacing like garbage. But I know I can get to her before the crab spawns pretty healthy, so don't worry about it. And that's part of the beauty of Kindred. She doesn't have the fast 6-camp clear like Rengar and Nidalee do, but gosh is it forgiving, and it's pretty versatile. I could jump the Herald Pit and go do some good damage to kha'zix's blue side before he gets there, given my nice deep ward. But given my health, I'd rather not risk tangling with kha'zix alone in his jungle this time round. And you can see how rusty I am by almost forgetting to do wolves on my way through. But yeah, I didn't actually know that kha'zix's standard clear was red Krugs Raptors. Otherwise, I might have considered the blue invade more seriously. Could have been quite nice to take blue Gromp and then gank the Set, who's almost certainly going to be pushing into Nasus. As it is, here we are, inefficiently kiting the blue. Yeah, definitely need to go into practice tool with Kindred again. So we got the bot lane hard pushed up, and the mid lane is fairly even there. Nasus is chilling, and kha'zix has just reached wolves. Pretty sure he's supposed to go straight into blue. Maybe this is a new Season 12 path, or maybe he has no idea what he's doing, which is probably quite likely. So here I'm looking mid, looking bot. Mid is definitely in the gankable state, but I'm waiting for the scuttle to spawn, just in case it's the one with the mark on it. And what do you know? Fortune smiles, so we take that pretty sharpish, and then Vlad is looking pretty tasty. Oh, and even takes a tower shot. What a nice chap. Really starting to appreciate the slow on Kindred's E. And to everyone's surprise, he goes back in to try to get the kill on the Kiana. So greedy. I don't know what world he thought he was going to get out of that. Maybe, he had flash, or maybe he was just banking on getting first blood. But instead he's given it to Kindred and has lost that entire wave. There's no mystery as to where kha'zix is. He's on the scuttle, so I'm pinging that out for the top laner. I don't see any point in trying to contest the scuttle or trying to dive at bot, so I go back, get my items, and then I can start getting through the rest of my camps and into my second sequence. God, Set is a piece of work, isn't he? Just standing stock still in the middle of a cannon wave. Good flash by the Nasus. And Set still freaking wins. Good job, right? Things are also starting to get a bit spicy in the bot lane, and I believe our laners do not come out on top of this. Nope, there we go. Caitlyn down. But luckily, Set players only have their muscles to think with, and he has stayed to try to push in his wave on almost 0 health. And you know what? If it'd just been one of us, I wonder if we wouldn't have died. Kiana definitely. Me possibly. Finished my Krugs, top laners are fighting, time for another gank. And scenarios like this are where I'd struggle with Rengar, because I'd have to waddle up slowly into that lane, into melee with Set, and just get dunked on. I'd have to try to make it to the bush so that I could then jump onto minions to try to space him out. And there's a decent chance things get messy and it starts to go wrong, and like, it feels pretty nice to be able to walk it with Kindred and know I can do something. Same thing with Nidalee. So after that gank, I go for a quick peek at kha'zix's topside camps. I just want the timers more than anything, so I can practice working out where Kindred's marks will spawn. But you know, in hindsight, I should also be aware that I've shown on top, so there's a good chance that he will be going into my blue side to counter jungle me. We gank the Vlad, taking the pressure off the Kiana, burn his flash, get him nice and chunked. The brazen way he's running at me here shows me without any doubt that kha'zix is in this river. I'm not at all scared to turn back on him and get myself to safety, although I should have been more careful about going back into my jungle, because there be mosquitoes around. Quick look at my lanes tells me that there's nothing to do for kha'zix in mid, and I've got a perma-shoving bot lane, so I know where he's going even before he knows where he's going. I ping my bot lane, or I ping the river, to try to tell them where he is, and then I shadow them. They still decide to try to take this fight. You can see I'm being very cautious of getting too close to that river, which I'm happy with. And even though we lost Leona and get a return kill, at least I didn't die, and at least they didn't get a double kill. So Nasus is hosting Set at the gates of his tower again, and I'm being a naughty jungler. I'm finishing my Krugs before I go. I need to drop those Krugs and go sooner. Nasus did a great job by himself, and I pretty much just did the cleanup, but at least we got the ult out of the set. And I think this is a good time to talk about my itemization. Basically, our team is all AD, pretty much. Oh dear, Kiana got solo killed. That was coming. And if Set and Rel start stacking armor, they're going to be unkillable. So whilst I'm a Kindred noob and would rather be going shield bow for the ridiculous overpowered nature of that item, I feel I'm forced into going Kraken Slayer and Lord Dominic's as soon as I can, and just have to rely on my ult to save me from kha'zix one-shots. So now we see Vlad pushed up to tower. If I was Rengar and I didn't have my ult, there would be fuck all I could do about this. As it is, I don't do a lot, but I think the difference here is I think Vlad would be happy enough to just fight Rengar if I came out and at least didn't have my full stacks, which I tend not to. But he's got to be a bit more respectful of the little lamb. There's not a whole lot to do after I finish my camps other than repeat gank mid, but I don't know where kha'zix is, so I decide to poke at the dragon and see what crawls out of the woodwork. And lo and behold, it starts to stir the hornet's nest. I probably should have jumped the wall and wrapped around behind tower and go for another kind of lane gank style thing. But as it is, we get the lane pushed, freeing up the bot lane to do some pressuring around the map. But as it turns out, we don't actually need to, because the enemy are more than willing to come and fight us. And what the hell the Aphelios was thinking, I will never know. But I suspect he thought his rel would be more coordinated with him, and probably didn't respect the bot lane. As I said, all the enemy players are ranked, or on paper ranked more highly than our team. So then more dumb shit happens. I guess the rel thought the kha'zix was going to follow up, but I wonder if me taking the ward distracted him. In any case, that worked out rather well. And we finally get to snack on a dragon. I'm so bad at smiting. Need to get better at judging the threshold and comboing the smite with with whatever champion I'm using's burst. Gosh, enemy bot lane were just suicidal, weren't they? I guess they figured I must have backed after doing the dragon, but didn't bank on the scuttle scrap spawning. And here I just ult, because we've done so well to keep both bot laners alive. I'm not having kha'zix doing some funky bug assassin shit and killing them. So yeah, we're just making dead sure that no one dies today. And I guess they get some sustain, you know, get some extra health back, which helps them push into the lane without being as at risk. Sadly, I can't be in two places at once, so Qiyana and Nasus don't feel the benefit. And here I am, leaving my camps to go and gank. Good, Kindred. Vlad's pool stops me from getting the slow on him, but Qiyana gets him anyway. I'm always surprised by how deep she can hit under that tower. So, off to hunt male strippers we go. But always make sure protection is worn, girls. Because Riot have packed far too much testosterone into big old Mr. Set. My panicked flight towards Set's tower actually, nearly cost us the kill here. Definitely should have run up towards Nasus. What the fuck is this champ? Bot tower finally goes down. And here is a poignant reminder to always check a bush when you walk past it. Just dip into it. So I know that I don't have priority in top and mid here, but I'm feeling spicy, you know, I'm feeling quite strong. I think I can burn this herald quite quickly. But no, Set sees me on that control ward and instantly moves. It enables him to hit his shit from over the wall, but I managed to pull out some Nidalee-esque slippery survival tactics. But ultimately, it forced our team into a fight that we didn't need to take. Could have just done a camp, ganked a lane, you know, got us in a numerical advantage, and then taken it. Instead, we just lost the herald. It's pretty much pure luck that Qiyana won her 1v1 and was able to join in on this. Not sure about the flash there, girl. Good old Nasus gets the bug splat. And luckily, these two are just about strong enough to hold Set long enough for me to heal up on chickens and then come in to finish him off. But Jesus Christ, why am I not playing this champ to climb? So now the big bad 5 and 5, 100 CS at 17 minutes Set is off the map. We do a bit of wave pushing and await the next round of bullshit. Just your matter! Fuck you, Riot. So with that out of the way, we get back to the normal practice of deleting horrendously out of position characters. Oh, and here I missed an ult to save Qiyana. Oh, I just didn't see that she was going down that quick. Feels bad, and the slippery little bug gets away. I was quite happy with Kindred's chase down potential here, though ironically I think given the ward placement, Rengar and probably definitely Nidalee could have, if she'd hit a spear, probably could have got him here. But then they could very well have already been dead to the Set. More fighting breaks out as Vlad pushes his luck, pushing mid lane, and he gets his just desserts. And yeah, I just don't know what's going on and why these players are being so much more aggressive than they have any right to be. But it's not limited to the enemy team, at least. Although now that Nasus doesn't have Set's crotch thrust into his face, he's got some big boy moves of his own. And I wonder this every game where I'm ahead. Like, I feel like I'm ahead. I feel like their jungler's been shut out of the game. How is it that I look back at the scoreboard at the end of the game and see that their jungler has so many kills? And the answer is because they wait for laners to do dumb shit like this. I had nearly 3,000 gold. I had to back. Presumably they didn't have much gold and didn't have any camps or waves to take, so that's why they were up here. And I did not communicate that I needed to go back because I had lots of gold. ADCs, by the way. So here, this is probably my mistake, because I look at the side lanes and I think, you know, guys got things in hand. There's no one in the mid lane. I can push that, get some nice pressure. But my homeboys have been out in this lane for a while now and are starting to run low on resources. I don't know if the enemy have backed or not, but they're certainly in position to 3v3 and get a wipe. If I'd run straight to them, I probably could have turned that outcome around. But to me at the time, pushing the mid wave and then seeing where the fight in the bot goes south, moving over to take my mark and help protect the Nasus from the set seemed like the right move. Holy crap, that one move nearly 100 to 0'd me. You gotta hate Nasus players. But I'm glad I took care of this one. So with all this going on, I'm the only one in position to respond to the set's top lane push. And I might be an 8-1 Kindred with Kraken Slayer and Lord Dominate's Regards and God knows how many marks, but I'm still not eager to tango with this guy. I'm spam pinging the dragon because it's free, and I have a bad feeling about this mid lane push. We burnt some important ultimates in that fight in the lane, and I couldn't stop sets back. But there is nothing in heaven or on earth that will stop my laners from doing this in my games. Oh shit! Kha'Zix is 7-1. He must have been doing such a good job. So rather than contesting a dragon no one cares about, I get back to pushing this top wave. And jokes about the predictableness of my team aside, this kind of stuff is happening, at least in this game, because my backs are not synchronized with the rest of the team. I think it's fair to say I'm doing work, and I'm certainly backing on like about 2,000 gold each time. So it's definitely I need to back at these points. So I don't think in this case the fault is strictly mine. It would be nice if our team would say wait for, you know, arguably our second strongest player to sync up with them, but I'm not communicating that actively, am I? I'm not telling them, hey guys, wait for me, and you know I should. So yeah, a top lane tower for a dragon seems a pretty good trade, all things considered, and I don't die split pushing. Crazy. And it's nice that Kindred's kit is versatile enough to allow me to do this in such circumstances. So here we have a classic Set refusing to accept that his time is finally over, and this time he gets run down like a dog in the 1v4. This time, wonder of wonders! The team actually listened to me calling to do the free Baron rather than staying to int and suicide at the Nexus turrets. And Nasus does a good job of delaying them so we get to do it stress-free. But do you know what isn't stress-free? Being the last guy to shower your back after the Baron. Woo, Kindred! And much as it pains me, there's nothing I can do for this Leona, so I leave her to her fate and acknowledge her support. But no, she will not go quietly! In fact, she will not go at all. And with a polite up yours to Riot's design team, she slips away into the mist. So with this game pretty much in the bag, there's just time to int one last time in the enemy base. I mean, I did get in the way with my selfish Baron call, and you know, they deserve a bit of a chance to waste everyone's time for the next 10 minutes. So now we've got that out of our system, let's go push some waves, shall we, so we can actually end this. So as battle lines are drawn, I'm doing my best to try to, you know, play the ADC, stay back. I come a little bit forward to hit this wave in the tower, but you know, it's okay, I think. So, and I freaking melt towers and tanks with this build. It was really, really pleasing. So they just can't get in close with our poke. And we've got Leona as our nice vanguard there. Oh, Set's coming in, and now I'm starting to do it. 3 auto attacks. Now, you bastard, feel what that feels like. rotating over. It takes a little bit of time for the team to get on the same page, but rotating over to the other lane, spread that pressure, strangle them out of the map. And I want to move over to the top lane, but I keep hanging back because I'm just not sure my bot lane aren't going to do something stupid. But I'm starting to suspect that people think that this kind of indecisive movement, it means that I want to stick around and fight with them. So I think, yeah, I just need to move straight across to where I need to be. And if they instant die, they instant die and we lose the game. So there I reckoned I'd be pretty safe on the other side of that wall. But as it turned out, not so much. I wanted to keep myself still standing. I'm going to admit, at the time, I wasn't sure if it was going to be one of those Kindred throws the game type things, but it just about worked out. I did have my stopwatch and I didn't use it, so I potentially could have survived in between me taking down Set and Rel finishing me off. But in the end, even though I possibly could have played that better, it works out as Nasus is still alive and Nasus does Nasus things. So yeah, that was my reintroduction to Kindred. Hope you enjoyed it, and I hope I look back on this in times to come when I haven't won a game in months and remember that I'm able to hold my own with her against players of the ELO I'm hoping to join. Take care.